Imagine yourself behind the wheel, driving down a lonely, winding road at night. The world outside is silent, the only sound the hum of your engine and the steady sweep of headlights cutting through the inky darkness. The air feels thick with possibility, and every shadow seems to hold a secret. In the background, a radio hums softly, its warm glow a small comfort against the unknown. It's the perfect setting for a ghost story, or perhaps something even stranger, a tale that blurs the line between reality and myth. On February 21st, 1997, millions of listeners across the country tuned in to Coast AM with Art Bell. The show was famous for exploring the strange, the unexplained, and the downright bizarre, drawing in night owls and truth seekers alike. That night, a caller named Mel Waters phoned in with a story that would soon become modern folklore. He spoke of a mysterious hole on his property near Ellensburg, Washington, a place that seemed to defy all logic. Mel described a chasm so deep, so unfathomable, that it appeared bottomless. No matter what was thrown in, old appliances, dead livestock, even massive reels of fishing line, the pit never filled, and no sound ever echoed back. What made Mel's account even more chilling was his calm, almost matter-of-fact demeanor. He wasn't trying to frighten anyone, he simply wanted answers, and that sincerity made his tale all the more believable. The late 90s were a golden age for mysteries and conspiracies. With shows like The X-Files dominating pop culture, people were hungry for stories that challenged the ordinary. Mel's story fit perfectly into this world of shadowy secrets and government cover-ups. Coast to Coast AM became the stage for this legend, a place where backyard mysteries could grow into grand conspiracies. The show's late-night audience was primed to believe, and Mel's hole quickly became a topic of heated debate and wild speculation. The legend of Mel's hole was born that night, transforming what might have been a local oddity into a national phenomenon. Newspapers, talk shows, and internet forums buzzed with theories and rumors, each more fantastic than the last. The simple question, what if there's a bottomless hole, captivated imaginations everywhere. It launched a mystery that endures to this day, inviting us all to wonder what secrets might be hidden just beneath the surface of the world we think we know. Who was Mel Waters? He claimed to be a retired man from Kittitas County, Washington, living on family land. Mel's delivery was key, measured, sincere, never sensational. He described a 9.5-foot wide pit lined with a strange retaining wall used for decades as a dumping ground. No matter how much was thrown in, the hole never filled. Curious, Mel tried to measure its depth with a fishing line, thousands of feet, then tens of thousands, eventually over 80,000 feet, and still no bottom. This claim turned a local curiosity into a geological impossibility. Was Mel a master storyteller or a witness to the impossible? The mystery of the hole was inseparable from the mystery of Mel himself. His story hooked listeners, blurring the line between the mundane and the impossible. Mel's story soon veered into the paranormal, drawing in listeners with its chilling details and strange occurrences that defied explanation. He claimed a neighbor's dead dog, tossed into the pit, was later seen alive but changed, vacant, unresponsive, as if it had returned from somewhere else, stripped of its spirit. The animal's eerie transformation left the community unsettled, fueling rumors that the hole possessed powers beyond human understanding. Radios near the hole picked up old broadcasts, as if the pit was a portal through time. Listeners reported hearing voices and music from decades past, sometimes even picking up signals in languages no one recognized. The air around the hole seemed charged with static, distorting reality itself. Mel described a black beam of light shooting from the hole, an impossible, tangible darkness that seemed to absorb everything around it. Witnesses said it was as if the earth itself was exhaling a shadow, a phenomenon no one could explain. Animals avoided the pit. Dogs barked from a distance, refusing to approach, while birds changed course to avoid flying over it. Even the bravest creatures seemed instinctively aware that something was deeply wrong with this place. The hole radiated a sense of dread, as if nature itself marked it forbidden. People reported feeling watched, their skin prickling with unease whenever they neared the edge. These stories transformed the pit from a mere geological anomaly to a supernatural hotspot, a place where reality seemed to unravel. It was a place where the laws of life, death, and physics broke down, and where the ordinary rules of the world no longer seemed to apply. Each bizarre detail, the resurrected dog, the time-warped radio, the black beam, deepened the mystery, making the whole a magnet for speculation and fear. Listeners wondered, what force could cause such impossible events? Was the hole a natural phenomenon or something far more sinister? The hole became a gateway to the unknown, a place where the boundaries between reality and the supernatural blurred, leaving only questions in its wake. Then, Mel's story took a conspiratorial turn. He claimed federal agents appeared, seized his land under the pretense of a plane crash, and declared it off-limits. Mel was offered money to leave and exiled to Australia, allegedly tracked by a device in his teeth. The government, he said, wanted the hole and his silence. This twist resonated with an audience primed for tales of cover-ups and secret operations. The legend escalated from spooky story to national security mystery. What was in the hole that warranted such secrecy? Alien tech? A portal? Something else? Mel's final calls came from exile, describing a life under surveillance. The hole was now inaccessible, its secrets locked away by faceless authorities. The mystery was sealed, not solved but hidden, fueling endless speculation. The legend of Mel's Hole didn't just stay on the airwaves. It sparked a real-world treasure hunt that drew in people from all walks of life. Adventurers, skeptics, and dreamers alike were compelled to see if the impossible could be true. Journalists, amateur sleuths, and paranormal enthusiasts descended on Manistash Ridge, each hoping to be the one to uncover the infamous pit. The area buzzed with activity as search parties combed the rugged landscape, interviewing locals and following every rumor. But when investigators turned to public records, they hit a wall. There was no trace of Mel Waters, no property deeds, no tax records, not even a mention in local directories. It was as if the man at the center of the story had never existed at all. The man behind the legend remained a ghost, as elusive and mysterious as the bottomless hole itself. His identity and the truth of his claims slipped further into the shadows with every unanswered question. Expeditions scoured the hills and forests, but all they found were abandoned mine shafts and old wells, none of them bottomless, all of them disappointingly finite. The landscape was littered with the remnants of past industry, but nothing that matched the legend. In 2012, geologist Jack Powell took a scientific approach. He investigated the most promising site and found an abandoned mining shaft, likely left over from a coal project. It was deep, but only between 90 and 300 feet, nowhere near bottomless. The supposed bottomless pit, it turned out, was just another man-made hole, one of many scattered across the region, each with a clear and ordinary explanation. This mundane reality deflated the hopes of many believers, suggesting that the legend was little more than an exaggeration of a common feature. The excitement faded for some, replaced by skepticism and disappointment. Yet for others, the search for Mel's Hole continued. Driven by hope, curiosity, and the irresistible allure of the unknown, new explorers kept coming, convinced that the truth was still out there, waiting to be found. The legend refused to die. Even as evidence failed to materialize, the mystery of Mel's Hole continued to captivate imaginations, keeping the story alive for a new generation of seekers. Science quickly dismantles Mel's claims. A hole 80,000 feet deep is impossible. The deepest man-made borehole is just over 40,000 feet, and even that required decades of drilling. The Earth's crust would collapse any natural shaft long before reaching such depths. The deepest natural cave is only about 7,200 feet. Mel's Hole would be 11 times deeper. The black beam defies physics. Darkness isn't a substance, and you can't have a beam of it. Radios picking up broadcasts from the past? No scientific basis. The resurrected dog? Pure supernatural fiction. Each claim, when examined, crumbles under scrutiny. Mel's Hole is a masterful story, but a physical, geological, and biological impossibility. The legend survives not on science, but on the power of storytelling. In an age of smartphones and drones, the absence of evidence is telling. No photos, no videos, no credible proof of Mel's Hole have ever surfaced. A bottomless paranormal pit would be a global sensation, yet Manistash Ridge remains quiet and unremarkable. Believers claim government cover-up, arguing the site is hidden and guarded. This unfalsifiable loop, no evidence means a cover-up, keeps the legend alive. Nearly 3 decades later, not a single authentic image has emerged. The internet is full of fakes and mislabeled mineshafts, but nothing real. The story endures through word of mouth, radio, and articles, a narrative phenomenon, not a documented reality. Mel's Hole lives on, not through proof, but through the power of what's hidden. Despite no evidence, Mel's Hole is now part of Pacific Northwest folklore. It's inspired artists, writers, and musicians, becoming a modern myth as iconic as Sasquatch. In Thorpe, Washington, a mural celebrates the legend, and local businesses sell Mel's Magic IPA. The community has embraced the myth, weaving it into local identity and pride. The story's themes echo in pop culture, like Gravity Falls' Bottomless Pit episode. Mel's Hole is a blueprint for compelling mystery, blurring reality and fiction. The search for the pit has faded, replaced by celebration of the story itself. The legend is now a collaborative work, evolving with each retelling. The hole may not be real, but its cultural impact is undeniable. Why does Mel's Hole endure, despite debunking and lack of evidence? Humans crave mystery. In a world mapped and explained, we long for the unknown. Stories like Mel's Hole offer escape, suggesting secrets still lurk beneath the surface. The bottomless pit is a metaphor for infinite possibility, a final frontier in a conquered world. The conspiracy angle gives the legend immunity from debunking, feeding distrust of authority. The story becomes political, the little guy silenced by faceless power. Ultimately, the legend's value is in its storytelling power, not its truth. It reminds us that sometimes the questions are more thrilling than the answers. As long as we seek wonder, there will always be a place for mysteries like Mel's Hole.